Hey there, this is Greg, the Masked Gamer, and I am here ready to do my first play of Odalin Dungeons of Doom. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is a place for COVID cautious folks to talk about board games. You don't have to be COVID cautious in order to be here, provided there is no minimization, denialism, or harassment of any kind. With that said, I am here by myself today, so I'm going to remove my mask, and you're going to get to see me struggle through this in real time. So I do have a group planned for this game, and we're going to start playing as a group on Sunday. But I do want to do a play test first. Want to do some playing on camera. So what we're doing today is I'm taking two characters who will not be with us on our main journey. I'm taking the shaman and the paladin, and we're going to do a two-hero adventure with two amulets of power on the initiative track. And we're going to do the quick read version, not the full narrative version, and we're going to see how far we get. My expectation is that after a room or two, I'm going to need to pause and cook dinner, and then I will probably do a second video to come back and try to finish everything up to the first save point on this playthrough. But we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a little clunky. The rules themselves seem pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of interactions and a lot of card effects and a lot of keywords. And I've already asked quite a few questions in the Discord of things that I'm generally speaking confused about. So that might happen. Things might go wrong. If things are wrong, please tell me in the comments to help me and others. I also do have the upgraded furniture packs, but I'm not using those or the acrylics today. I'm keeping it simple because also the tokens are going to be easier to see on camera, especially with my very, very crappy overhead lights. They're not crappy, they're too good. That's the problem. They make everything shine, as you'll see when we get to that. But let's go ahead and read our fast action mode narrative leading us into this. Now, this is supposedly something that is the quote unquote average experience of all of the choices that would have come after this. But let's go ahead and read chapter one and the fast action mode stuff. Journey phase before the corruption. Under a moonless sky, you crest the final doom. Before you lie the half-buried temple, its colossal doors sealed and etched with glowing sigils. Demons and cultists swarm outside, held at bay by shimmering wards they cannot breach. The air is thick with the stench of sulfur and the distant wails of captives. Nearby, prisoners are dragged towards a towering pyre. The cultists chant in guttural tones, and each agonized scream of the sacrificed ones causes the runes on the temple to flicker. You exchange tense glances, the memory of the scroll fresh in your mind. I don't know what scroll we're talking about because I don't think I remember to read whatever that is, but what have you. Just days ago among the ruins, oh, it's going to tell me about it now. Just days ago among the ruins of an ancient caravanserai, I don't know how to say that word, you had uncovered a hidden alcove beneath a fallen pillar marked with faded sigils. Inside was an ancient scroll wrapped in time-worn leather, miraculously preserved. Unfurling it revealed cryptic runes and a map leading to this very temple, a place where the demon lords were imprisoned by jinns in distant past. Seizing this power, or at least preventing it from falling into the hands of the demons, was the last spark of hope. Now, guided by the scroll, you realize time is running out. Steeling yourselves, you search among the dunes for the hidden passage marked on the map. Finding it, you slip into the shadows, descending toward the heart of the temple. We're doing fast action mode, so this is now the fast action mode text at this point. Descending into the temple, you found Hazel, a cryptic seer. She revealed that the crystals in the sealed chamber held the souls and essences of demon lords. Guided by her, you bound yourself to one of these crystals, granting you immense power but risking corruption. Invading demons attacked you during the process, but you managed to flee with Hazel through a secret passage. Outside, the temple was swarmed with demons, and you fled into the desert with Hazel. She explained that while you successfully took the power of a demon lord, it will slowly consume you, and only the jinns can help ease the corruption. Get all the demon lord cards. Each hero must choose one demon to bind to, giving your hero unique powers. I have bound Ashara the shaman with Lilith the witch of sins. This is Lilith the witch. Wait, no, I'll do it this way. This is come on. This is Lilith, the Witch of Sins. Oh, we'll show her on this side. Lilith, the Witch of Sins. And this is Asmodar, the Sire of Wrath. At least one of these is from the expansion set. I'm not sure which one it is. I think I know Asmodar is. I'm not sure about Lilith. Anyway, ba, 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 ba. And I also already did the card flips that you can get from your stats. So that's been done before we started as well. In the desert, you encountered Rob. His name is Rob. R-O-B, Rob. A bulky, bald blacksmith who escaped from a sacrifice camp. He shared his tale of imprisonment and provided a clue for your next step. A viper folk village with a sacred altar to Ardvi, the Jinn of healing. Rob explained that while he was there with his sister and nieces before his capture, he noticed the priests acting strangely, sacrificing their eggs in the name of Ardvi to combat a mysterious disease. Hazel mentioned that finding Ardvi could save your soul, so you traveled along. Getting closer, Hazel urged you forward, ensuring that she and Rob would hide while you sought for the Jinn in the Viperfolk Temple. Each hero takes 5 damage due to the demon's attacks during your escape from the temple. I already did that. And we gain the fact just us in the desert, whatever that means. That is a fact we have. And then we go and we set up the map. And you can see I've already set up the first room here. They did want us to set this facing northward, but I set it facing eastward in terms of my space and my needs. Snake's Den entrance. You step into a large chamber, the air thick with the sharp scent of herbs. Faded carvings of coiling serpents line the sandstone walls, worn down by time. Ahead, 3 viper folk. Viper folk. Here is a viper folk. Viper folk. Bum, 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 bum. 3 viper folk move across the sandy floor, their once bright scales now dull and cracked, eyes red and feverish. As they slither forward, shards of broken glass crunch beneath them, remnants of what looks like vials and bottles scattered across the ground. Their blades gleam in the dim light, raised without hesitation, and behind them statues of ancient priests stand with open arms, their welcoming gestures a stark contrast to the hostility you now perceive. Whatever peace once ruled here has long since faded. We have a rule thing of the corrupted dungeons. The moment you step inside, a suffocating weight presses against you, an unholy energy thick in the air. To most, it might be a chilling discomfort, but to you, it's much worse. Here, the demon lord's presence writhes within the crystal, slowly clawing at your soul. There is no time to lose. If you're to withstand its pull, you must find a way to cleanse this place before the demon's influence consumes you entirely. Rule reminder, at the start of each round, each hero gains 1 corruption. This affects all of the dungeons of Odalin. We also have a special rule called the disease, the first stages. The Viper Warriors begin combat with a weakened token each, and I've already put those weakened tokens on them. Those mean that they will do 1 less damage with each attack, if I am correct. Eh, uh, 2 less damage with each attack is what they'll do. But I think those get discarded at the end of their turn, but we're going to walk through that as we walk through that. If attacking with the card Venom Blade Fury, they target the closest hero, and after attacking, they immediately draw and make a new attack. This extra attack may only happen once per Viper Warrior's turn. If we kill all 3 Viper Warriors, we will get 3 randomized level 1 equipment cards to them. All right. So with that, I have set up the map here. We have our 3 baddies, all who have the same health, 25. On this chart here, our health has been lowered by 5. This is the Viper Warriors attack track. Here is the power track. Whenever we kill a Viper Warrior with the opposite things, so we have to these are order things, so we have to kill them with chaos cards. Whenever a villain dies, it will go up by 1, but if we defeat them with a chaos card with intensity equal to or higher than them and they have an intensity of 1, we will raise the power track by an additional 1. I want to just see villains turns, discarding the card. So how long does this status token last? Is this forever? Look, I already hit a rule that I'm not sure about. Conditions, page 33. Conditions. Place the affected condition. They remain until combat ends, the opponent dies, or an opposing. So they're going to have -2 to their attack for this whole thing. So this is kind of going to be like a tutorial battle for us, I guess. Okay, so on the initiative track, our first thing up is the Viper Warrior Blue Circle, which is this one. So it's going to go ahead and reveal its first card, which is going to be a Venomous Bite. And this is going to go after the closest hero, which is going to obviously be our Paladin because he's going to be more tanky. It is going to move 6 spaces, and it is going to attack for 8 damage, and it will poison the target. If the target is already poisoned, it will also gain weakened and vulnerable. So we're going to go ahead and it's going to go one, two. Oh, they can go diagonal in this. So that's going to go one, two, three, four, five, six. Can't quite get there, luckily for us. So we're going to get a whole turn to act before other things happen. Gabrielle the Paladin is going next on our track, and I, of course, have not looked at any of the abilities that he has yet. But yeah, that's gonna be really fun. Now I can only uh, use an aura, I believe, when the keyword exists on a card. When it apply whenever you play a card with aura of protection, aura of retribution, or aura of sacrifice. Yes, so I can't do that unless it says it on a card that I have. Now I can only play one attack per round, and I have a whole bunch of cards here. So let's go through what I have in my hand together. We have Divine Retribution. As an attack action, I can lose 4 health and do 6 damage. If I'm at half health or less, I can also do 6 more damage than that. I can also activate my Aura of Retribution, or I can use the bottom action of that, which gives me 1 corruption. My next attack does +5 damage, and I heal 1 per damage that exceeds a target's health. I'm not going to use that this turn. I don't think that's going to be very useful for me based on what we have. I always get to start with the Aura Mastery card, this card, even if I don't draw it. Aura Mastery, I can double the effect of my Protection and Retribution Holy Auras, or I can use Hell's Nova, which gives me 2 corruption, does 7 damage to all enemies within range 3. And I'm probably going to want to activate Aura Mastery, assuming I am able to activate one of my auras, but we'll see. Next card that I have is this. We have Hellfire Explosion on the top. I get 1 corruption. I deal 8 damage and target all corruptions in range 2. All targets take half of the total damage. That happens anytime anything says target all. So that other card didn't say it, but I think it should exist on it. The Sword of Zeal, I can lose health from 0 to 6 and deal twice that to an enemy in one, and then activate the Aura of Retribution. And that is not an attack. I do not have to roll attack dice for that. So that sounds like a really, really great thing to use based on everything going on here. Keeping in mind, basic movement will let me move 3 spaces. So I'm saving that up here because I'm probably going to want to use that this turn. Next, we have Blade of Light. That lets me deal 1 damage in range 2 and I heal 2. Or on the bottom, I can gain 1 corruption, lose 2 health, and do 11 damage in range 3. That's pretty strong. Maybe I can use that to kill something. That's an instant, so I can use that on somebody else's turn if I save it. Then we have the Hellfire Mantle. That will give me +1 corruption, deal 5 damage, and then for the remainder of I think that's for the remainder of until the start of my next turn, all enemies that attack me will take 3 damage automatically. So that's going to double up with that retribution where I have. And then the bottom of that is I can get 1 soul and change the target of an enemy to me if possible. So what I'm going to want to do here is I am going to want to get behind him so that everything's going to attack me. And this Hellfire Explosion card, nope, it's the bottom of that I would use. So I want to use an attack that lets me move 3 that is not this card. I'm gonna use that Hellfire Wrath one that I saw before. So we're gonna go ahead and use Hellfire Mantle. That's gonna give me 1 corruption on this corruption track. I get to move 3 because there's a footy with 3 there. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 and get behind this dude. Not that there's any like behind, but yeah. And then it's going to be an attack for 5 damage. So now I have to do what the attack sequence is. So we're going to walk through this very slowly together because it's the first time I'm doing it. Okay. So first, I did the movement. And then I am going to have a range of 1, and I'm next to the monster, so I can attack with my Paladin's Blade. Now I'm going to roll my attack dice pool. So I get one white die, and it looks like one green die, although the green die just has defense on it because I have the shield of Sala Poopy. And it has two defense, so I have to get two damage to hit it. And I don't actually know if that's going to be possible based on what I see here, because I only get one white die to attack. And I have to meet or exceed the current defense stat. So there is one, two, one, and two. So I have a 1/3 chance of hitting because this thing over here, according to this, has a defense of two. Now, the bigger deal here is really just activating this card and knowing that everything within one range of me that attacks me the next turn is going to take 3 damage. So, and it's setting me up to do some other stuff. So that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and use the Odalin dice tray. It's so pretty. It's upside down. It's so pretty. To roll this die, and we're gonna get 2 hits. We did not get 2 hits. Instead, we did 1 hit and 2 soul. Now, I don't think I have any way of making that stronger, but it still grants soul according to this. So I get 2 soul, 1, 2, but I did not do any damage. However, this card is now activated, which means any enemy that attacks me will take 3 damage. And that cost one of my ability tokens, which I'm using chip theory chips because there's ability tokens coming later. Okay, so that happened. Then I'm going to use all three of these things because I want to activate this aura and I want to double the effects of it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is use this to cast an aura of mastery, and that will double the effect of my protection and retribution auras. I can play multiple auras on the same turn. They are active until the end of the combat. It is not placed in the discard pile. So I'm going to put that aura above me, saying that the effects of my protection and retribution holy auras are doubled. And then I'm going to use the Sword of Zeal that we talked about before, which uses my final activation token. And that I'm going to lose 6 health because I'm choosing to lose 6 health. So 40 goes down to 34. And then I deal twice that amount of damage to an enemy in one space. So 6 times 2 is 12. And I don't need to use an attack action for that or do a roll because it's not an attack. So this monster is just right away going to lose 12 health, if I'm understanding this correctly. Um, abilities that are not attacks. I'm just going to double check. I'm almost positive that this is the case. Damage. Damage. Damage that is not attacks. I know I saw this somewhere. I know I did. I know I did. I feel like I did. Instance. Was that under instance? Instance are used outside of your turn. Um, instance ignore attack modifiers. They are not attacks. They do not require a dice roll. That's where it was. Okay, so I did 12 damage to Blue Circle. So Blue Circle goes from 25 health down to 13 health. So that's like half its health right there. And then I can pay 2 soul to activate the Aura of Retribution. So enemies that attack heroes in range 2 take 2 damage, but my aura is doubled because of this card, so it's actually going to take 4 damage anytime an enemy attacks a hero within range 2. And then I still have these 2 cards left, but I can't use them because I don't have an ability token to use it. But I'm going to still have these in my hand because there's a chance that the shaman might give me back an ability token, and then I can use this fire wave card, which is an instant to do a whole ton of damage. I cannot do that with the Feast of Blood because it's an ability, not an instant. So the Feast of Blood is kind of just food. So that is the end of Gabrielle's turn. And now the two other monsters are going to go, and they're just going to go ahead and attack me. Um, just to read this, enemies that attack heroes in range 2. So if it attacks me, it counts. And this is this other card that's on top of my pile is enemies attacking me take 3. So both of those will trigger if these attack me. So let's start with Venomous Warrior Hexagon. And they have lethal dose, and that's against the closest enemy. So first they're going to move 5 spaces, which should get them to me, and then do all of this other stuff. So first we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can go straight up and attack me. It's going to do 6 damage to me. If I don't defend against it. If I'm poisoned, it does an extra 10 damage. If I'm not poisoned, I gain poisoned and then shuffle this back into the attack deck. So the way I read this is this only gets shuffled back into the attack deck if it gives me poisoned, not if I was already poisoned. So a few things happen here. First, I think do all of these, does it die, could it die before it attacks me? Executing the attack. Ba, 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 ba. Draw the attack card, favorite target, movement points. Find here are the best matches. It does the thing. It selects line of sight. I am reachable. It moves to attack me. It's oh wait, movement. Hold on. Movement. I think I might have messed something up earlier. Right. When I'm to exit a square adjacent to a villain, you must pay 2 movement points instead of 1. So I could not have gotten all the way back here. I could have gone 1, and then that would have been 1 space, and that would have been 2 more spaces. So this guy actually can't get to me because it takes 2 spaces to leave a space adjacent to a monster. So I would have gone 1, 2, 3. So this would then have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it's still, yep, 5. So it would not have been able to get close enough to me to attack me and it would have just stopped. So we're going to forget the rest of that phase there. Oops. See, I'm learning already. La di da da. Okay. Next Viper Warrior goes. This one is going to attack, target the hero with the least hit points, which currently would be the Shaman. But because it can't reach the Shaman, it will decide to attack the Paladin instead, because it can reach the Paladin with a movement of 5. So it's going to go, oh, here, it's going to do 5 damage. Going to target all heroes in one range. They will gain poisoned, and it will do 4 extra damage on targets that have 15 or less health. And this is the one that, according to the rules here, it's going to attack twice. So this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to attack me. Now, I am still trying to figure out if the instant damage that I did is going to that I do happens before this thing actually hits me. Not really sure about that. Um, movement penalties, damage and effects. It gets in range and attacks its target. Yeah, it doesn't say the order of events. So I'm just going to choose them and say that all these retributional things happen first. So it's going to take 3 damage from 1, 2, 3 from my Hellfire Mantle. And then it's going to take 4 damage from my Retribution Aura. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing it down to 18 health just by virtue of attacking me. But now I'm going to try to defend against that attack of 5 damage. So I will, okay, so we're going to roll these dice and then we're going to talk about what it says. So this is 1 empty shield. And I get an additional empty shield because of my agility. So because I have an agility of 1, you'll see it here, because I have an agility of 1, I get to resist that. Oh, how does critical hits happen? Critical hits. I mean, I missed before, but just to see what it does. What is a critical hit? What is a critical hit? Critical hit. Oh, you have to roll three more damage than your target's defense. That's not going to happen. Okay, so we got one defense on that, so we're going to take 4 damage instead of 5 damage. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, bringing us down to 30. Ouch. And oh, each person gets 1 corruption at the start of each round. I forgot that too. So I should actually be on 2 corruption. Target all heroes in range 1. They gain poison. Poison. So many tokens, so little time. So many tokens. What if poison looks like? Oh, it looks like this little thing. I am poisoned. So what poisoned does, and luckily poisoned cannot stack unless something specifically says it can. But poisoned, I will take 2 damage at the end of each of my turns. Great. Okay. Now, because of the Venom Blade Fury, it's going to draw and make a second attack. This can only happen once per turn. So its second attack is going to be a Venomous Bite. So this is going to attack me again, closest hero. So first I'm gonna well first it's gonna take all of that damage again, which is gonna be 4 for my Aura of Retribution and 3 for my Hellfire Mantle for a total of 7. So that's gonna bring it down to 11 health. And now we're going to try to defend against this 3 damage. And again, we rolled just 1 shield, so we're gonna take 2 damage instead of we're going to take 2 damage instead of 3 damage, so 1, 2. And then the target is poisoned. The target is already poisoned. It is now weakened and vulnerable. So I'm going to get a weakened token, which means I do 2 less damage, and a vulnerable token, which means I take 2 extra damage. So this thing just kind of came in and completely like demolished Gavriel, which is sad. But the good news is we're going to get some extra turns because of the Amulets of Power, which is something else I completely forgot about. All right. Oh, all right. 30 minutes in, halfway through the first turn. Next is going to be Ishara. Ishara sitting in the back here. Let's go through what she's got available. Okay. First, she has Echoes of Vitality. When she heals a hero in 5, she can also heal another hero, heal 1 to another hero in 5. That might be useful if I have an extra action economy for it, but we'll see. Next is Torment the Meek. Um, Torment the Meek is +1 corruption. Do 5 damage. If you score a critical hit this turn, it does an extra 4, and that's at a range of 4. So I'm gonna set that to the side because I'm realizing I'm going, oh, you know what? I don't discard. When do I? Because the Amulet of Power says to draw 3 cards, but not to discard other cards. So I think I keep the cards in hand I have when I do that. The Sword of the Rat. Yes, I do. So that gives me some extra economy. All right. Next card is Nurturing Nature. Whenever you heal an ally, if it has a positive token, it heals +2, but there's none of those out there. Bottom side is +1 corruption. A hero in 4 gains 3 soul and can reroll up to 2 dice if they are attacking. That's playable after the roll. So I could have used that while he was attacking, but I wasn't paying attention to instance because I wasn't paying attention to instance yet. Over here we have Nature's Strike. Lose 1 health, do 3 damage, +1 for each positive condition token on me. And then I can use Nature's Gift, which lets me apply 1 of 4 blessings to a hero, including myself. It says including, because it just says a hero. So that's fine. And on the bottom of that, hexing something or other. That's +1 corruption, 5 damage to all enemies in range 8 who were hit by an attack this turn. So that's not going to do very much for me right now. We have the Witch's Bolt, +2 corruption, 6 damage, range 4. Plus, it gives me 2 hits automatically on that, so that's going to really help me hit, and that could really scale with the Torment the Meek lower ability. I can double attack that. And then over here we have the Burst of Savagery. I lose 1 soul or gain 1 corruption. Draw a card, recover 2 abilities. This card is not placed on the discard and cannot be recovered. Reshuffle it on the deck at the start of the next combat. So I can only use that once. Oh, and then I can't use the top of it if I use the Burst of Savagery. That's sad. Okay. Vitality Sap, 2 damage in range 5, heal 1, a hero in range 5. Eh, it's kind of wimpy. And then on the bottom, we have -1 damage, copy all effects and costs of the last instant that was used this turn, even if an ally used it. Oh. Oh, I think it has to be an instant that somebody else uses on their turn, but that could be used on this fire wave thing if I can give myself an extra ability token. I can give an ability token using the Blessing of the Wolf if I use the thing that gives me nature's goopy. But I don't have any positive condition tokens on myself yet to take advantage of that, which is kind of eh. Um, so I think we're gonna try to like kill one of these off and call it a day. And this one seems to be in pretty bad shape, and it is within range one, two, three, four of me. And I believe people do not. Yeah, only walls and shit block line of sight. So from where I am, I can use that already. And that's going to give me +2 hits, which is going to give me a really good chance to actually just do damage. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to raise our corruption by 2. We're going to spend our ability points, and we're going to do an attack with. We already start with 2 hits on it, and we're doing this against Green Viper. So that is 2 more hits. So that brings us up to 4, which is not quite enough to do a crit. What was the thing that was going to let me re-roll a die? Oh, it was here. Can instance be used during my turn as well, or only during others' turns? Instance. Instance. You cannot use instance on your turn. So she cannot use Mirror of Darkness. She cannot use these things as an instant to reapply to that. Only this could be used, which can't be used. But the good news is I got 2 soul from that, so that's going to bring my soul up to 6. So I'm already like very close to 10 where I can become a demon for a little bit. I have 2 successes from that, 2 successes from that, which is enough to exceed the 4 successes here. There's something that I completely forgot, which is all of these bad guys are weakened, meaning they do -2 damage. So from the 2 attacks that he took, he should have taken 4 less. So we're going to put him back up to 32. Okay, we're learning. This is what happens. Okay, so we're doing 6 damage to this one. So it's at 11, it goes down to 5. That's 6 damage. And this goes into oh, my discard pile is in a sloppy place. So my discard pile will be here. Okay. So that was one ability. I still have 2 more abilities. I cannot use an attack, so I can only use some of these heal things from the top. But I don't really have any strong heals, unfortunately. That would copy all effects in the last instant. I don't have any. That was not a critical, so I won't do all the damage that I want to do from Torment the Meek. I didn't do that, so I could use these things. And just to clarify, instincts and abilities are meant attacks. They do not require a dice roll. So I can really slam some stuff out here, I think. And we're just gonna play with it and see what we can do. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use Torment of the Meek. That's gonna give me 1 more corruption, bringing me up to 4. And this is going to do 5 damage at range 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I can hit both of these. I'm going to hit the blue one for 5 damage, bringing it down to 8 using Torment of the Meek. Then for my final thing, I'm going to use the Hex of Wounding, and this will do 5 damage in range 8 to all enemies who were hit by an attack. Oh, only an attack this turn. That other thing wasn't an attack. But that's it only does half damage because it's a group thing, I think. Is that true? Let me just double check. Is it only if it's an area of effect that it does half damage, or is it area rules? All combatants within a specific areas. Multiple combatants with a specific area or a long line. Multiple targets make a roll. Area effects only cause half of their damage rolled down. Area rules in a specific area. Is this an area attack? I don't know. What would I do with my other thing here if I don't do that? Um, I wouldn't want to save it because I'm going to draw three when I take another action. Um, this is complicated. Type of areas, area A and B, line. You know, I don't think this is considered an area attack because it's not in a specific area or in a line. So I think this will work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my third ability to do this, get one more corruption, bring me up to 5, and I deal 5 damage to everything that was hit by an attack this turn, which was only the blue, was the green, right? The green's the one I attacked. Yes, which was the green, and that does 5 damage to green and kills it. Green circle. So that was a we get one power because it was this. It wasn't an attack, so I don't get the extra bonus power from that, but I do kill that dude. So that's one dead dude. Okay, great. Then I choose a hero to take an extra turn. I'm gonna have the shaman go next in case she can do something about healing all of this stuff. So she's gonna get her 3 action points back. She's gonna draw 3 more cards, which hopefully will give us some stuff to do. So we have the Pyre of Grimoires that gives me 1 corruption, deal 6 damage at range 3 as an attack. Discard any number of cards and draw the same amount. Or on the bottom, lose 1 soul. All heals applied to me or allies in 5 this turn increased by 1 and do Nature's Gift. Then we have Flames of Wisdom, 2 damage, range 5. Draw cards equal to half the total damage lost by the target, rounded down to a maximum of 6. How would I have done more than 2? I don't know, but whatever. Oh, hold up. Because I had 2 vigor, that I think that means she would have done more damage. Oh yeah, all of her attacks would have done an additional 1 damage, but that's fine because I killed that thing anyway. But that's something to keep in mind when she does an attack. Then on the bottom of this, we have Search for Power, -1 corruption. Place in your hand a card from your discard pile, not usable on your turn. Then we have up here Profane Cloud, +1 corruption, do 4 damage. You use an extra black die in an area of 2 to 2. Everything takes half damage because it's an area effect, or Nature's Judgment, -1 health, 3 damage plus 1 other instant played this turn. +1 per other instant played this turn in Nature's Gift. Okay, are any of these an actual attack that can do something? The Pyre of Grimoires definitely could. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start with that. So we're gonna move that lets us move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just because we're trying to move a little bit down the room. That's 1 more corruption, bringing us up to 6 corruption. And it's gonna do 6 damage at range 3. And I'm gonna try to kill the blue one because if I do get the 2 damage, that's it for them because I'm gonna do plus no, it'll do that's not true, it'll do 7 damage. Not quite enough. We're gonna go ahead and aim for the stronger one, this one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is not enough to cause a crit. But I think that this 3, I think this means I do an additional 3 damage. So that is 3, +1 is 4, +6 is 10. bringing this down to 15 is how I understand that. And then I can discard any number of cards to draw the same amount of cards. So what do I want to save from these? I don't have any positive health tokens. Oh, this lets that lets somebody else reroll 3 dice if they're attacking. Oh, but that's an ability, so I could use it on my turn, but I already attacked, so let's get rid of that. We're gonna save this. Place in your card a hand from your discard pile, not usable on turn. That's kind of useless based on all this stuff, and I can't attack again. That's 2 cards I discarded. Eh, 3 cards I discarded. So we're gonna draw, and then so we're gonna draw 3 more cards as part of that. So we're going through her whole deck in one turn. That's fine. We just drew Mark of the Wild. That is -1 soul, do 2 damage, range 5, an ally, and 5 is empowered, which will get rid of, I think, weakened from him. I think that's the opposite. Yeah, it'll get rid of his weakened and do Nature's Gift, but that's an attack, so I can't use it because I already did an attack that round. Or it can give me a soul and pull 2 enemies closer to me. I don't know why I'd want to do that. Here we have Crackling Lightning, which is an attack. We can't use it. We already attacked this turn. +1 corruption, 10 damage in a line. That's an area effect. Or we have on the bottom, lose 2 health, choose 1 type of positive condition token and double all tokens on that type in 1 hero. But there are no positive tokens right now, so it doesn't matter. And oh, this is important. Witch's Sight, -1 health, -2 damage, range 5 of the top 4 cards of your deck. Draw one, place the others on the bottom, recover 1 ability point, but that's an attack, so I can't use it. But on the bottom, lose 1 health and a hero in range 5 is invigorated, which is very important. So we're going to immediately do that. We're going to lose 1 health, and we're going to invigorate Gavriel, and I believe that that is the thing that gets rid of poison, which is what I was trying to do. Yes, that gets rid of poison, so he is no longer poison. So that's a start. I have 1 ability left. This might let me copy his thing on the next turn. I can't attack with any of these. The question is there anything useful I can do? I'm going to save this ability point so that I can maybe use it to copy something on Gabrielle's turn. Okay, Gabrielle. Next, Amulet of Power happens. We recover all of our spent chips and draw 3 cards. Ooh. I can also exhaust this uh, to heal him by up to half of his maximum health. But I think all of our health is pretty much okay. But let's see what the 3 cards I drew were. We have Infernal Wrath, +1 corruption, 5 damage in range 2. That I can pay up to 10 health to deal twice that as extra damage. So that could kill one of them off, assuming it hit with it. Um, I don't have the thing that would let me re-roll though, and hitting them is hard because I suck at hitting. This is -1 health. Whenever you receive heal, you gain 1 health, 1 aura, 1 soul, and the aura of sacrifice. I can then activate the aura of sacrifice, which lets me transfer damage dealt to allies to me. This is an aura that lets me heal 2 whenever I activate or change my aura, so that would have been nice to have earlier. Or on the bottom, +1 corruption, 10 damage, range 5 in an area 3 by 3. So that'll do 5 damage to each of them, which is nice. Then we have over here, Scorching Breath, +1, does 7 damage in a line, and targets become vulnerable. And then on the bottom, an enemy with 7 or less health within range 2 of me is automatically defeated, which is not an attack. Okay, so I want to kill something with an attack because that's how I get the extra stuff. But I don't think any of that's gonna kill anybody. Um, ooh, but if I use Fire Wave can only be used on her turn. Not on my turn. That sucks. Um, this gives my next attack +5 damage. but I still have to hit with an attack, which is very hard to do for me. Um, Interesting. Okay. And these auras go away at the end of combat, right? Auras, auras, auras. At the end of combat, yeah. So once I kill the second one, that's going to go away. Um, oh, I can use these once per combat, so I might as well use this now. Her maximum health should be 35. His maximum health should be 45. So we're gonna go ahead and use this to heal Gavriel by what is that? 22. So that'll bring him back to his maximum. I think that's fine to do. Okay. Hmm. Mm, 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 Oh, this is fun. Oh no, that's if an ally used an instant this turn. And it's not an ability if it's an instant. So there's really no way to copy an instant because yeah, because if I use it, I'm using it as an ability, not as an instant. So there's really no way to do that. But yeah, guess that's how that works. Oh, before I did that, let's say before I did that, I used this ability to lose one health, and then whenever I receive a heal or gain one soul, I get one additional soul. And then I can either activate the aura of sacrifice or gain a soul. I use that to gain a soul, and then I healed, and yada yada yada. Okay, that's one action. What has 7 or less in range of me? Also, before I healed, nope, because that's inactive. Also, before I healed, I will have used. Oh, area effects, I think, hit me too, right? Area affects all combatants, including myself. So I would have done this first. All of this would have been healed by the heal of the amulet, is basically what I'm saying. But I'm going to use um, Lava Burst now too, which will give me 1 corruption, and it will deal 5 damage to each of these. And I would have healed the 5 damage that I would have taken, so I'm not taking that yet. And then I have one more. That was an ability, so I can't duplicate it using this thing. But I do have one ability left. And I think that's in a line. Do I want to take a risk of trying to roll this die again? I don't think I do because, like, it's just garbage. And this is. Why do I have. Huh, hold on. When you roll an attack me. Dice. Roll your attack dice. Is that only dice for my weapon? Hold on. I think I did some things wrong. Um, when I build my dice, this comes from my equipment. Um, my attack dice come from that. My defense dice are defense against villains. So I have a blue defense die that I did not roll. And I think um, after villains. So this, why is this on my army? I could get corruption, but I don't understand why it has damage on it. Does that mean like it's retaliation damage? Is that what that is? No, because this is an attack die. So why is it on my armor? Um, hold on. Uh, Sorry, this is confusing me a bit. Implied meanings: all villains take 5 damage. Second part, then heal. Stealthy stuff. Components, manipulation, effects, instructions. Damage. Unicorn. Place, put, round up, round out, test, instance, test, Jason, specific effects, fleeing, run, push, pull, heal, move. Hey, except points, pick an extra card from dead, star combat with class unique. So I cannot figure out why I have a blue die on my armor, but I do. Armor gives you defense dice, which are green, but this has blue and green. So I think I was supposed to also roll this when I attacked, which I didn't do the other time. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll these two dice to attack from now on, is I think the idea. But I am not really sure, and I don't know. I don't know. But that's what we're gonna do. So we are going to use my final ability to do this line thing. I'm going to use 2 movement to come here, and this is going to let me attack both of them. Where did I put the other? This will let me attack both of them. So I'm going to get 1 corruption, and I am going to roll these dice. So, well, I rolled a blank on the blue die, so it didn't matter. But I did get 2 damage this time, 2 hits this time, which is a hit. Yeah, that is a hit. So I get to do 3 damage to each of them, -2 because my sword is broken. So that's 1 damage to each of them, apparently. But I get a soul, and they are both now vulnerable. So now I will do more damage to them next time. This one's dead. This is the dead. I think is how I'm reading that. And that was my third action. She can't copy because it's not an instant. So that is everything that I can do. Okay. So that's now the end of the round. So at the end of the round, hero's turn, chapter 2, hero's turn. Right. It does not say chapter 6, chapter 7 is effects. It does not specifically have an end of round thing. So I think it's just what start of round is. So at the start of the round, we're going to reshuffle this stuff. Condition tokens last until a certain amount of time. I'm okay, really. Conditions. Conditions last until combat ends. So yeah, so they're gonna still get those tokens on them. So we're gonna shuffle these cards again. This aura is still in effect. I don't discard cards yet, I don't think. Or do I? Start of round. Is that when I discard these cards? Start of round. Just at the start of the round, each hero discards all cards from their hands, if any, and draws 3 and regains their 3 action points and gets a corruption. Okay, so we've reshuffled these. I keep getting these 2 amulets at the end here, which is wild. Okay, so we reshuffled. We discard all of the cards in our hand. and we're going to draw 4 new cards each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 for the paladin, and 1, and I have to shuffle the other 3 for the shaman. Okay. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it, but I'm also not sure if I'm starting to get the hang of it yet. But we're definitely gonna take a pause after the first room. That is for sure. Um, okay. All right, she's gonna draw 3 more. I'm not gonna read all of the cards out loud anymore because we're kind of just no, I still will. I'll see what we have. Okay. First, I want to see if I'm just going to quickly see if there's any instance that look like they can be used while the bad guys are going, but I don't think so. Where is this? No, I think this can be instance. You cannot use instance on your turn. So this one gives me +8 shield. So I think that means instance can be played on bad guy turns as well. So we have the instance that we could use during this first bad guy's turn is Hell Scream +1 corruption. Each enemy in range 2 starting its turn takes 4 damage and must target me if possible. Um, when can instance be used? Instance can some may have just are used outside your turn allies or enemies' turns when using instance effects apply immediately. Instance effects last until the end of the turn which they are applied. Do not remove instance with cost. Heal 2. And I think I can use. I think I can. I want to say. Oh, they each get a corruption at the start of the turn. I want to say that I can use this before the enemies go, and I'm going to say that I do. That's the rule I'm doing. So if we're going to do this, we get a corruption. Each this is still one of these is still active. This is still active. Um, this is each enemy within 2 spaces of me starting its turn will take 4 damage and must target me if possible. So this is the blue one. It's starting its turn. It takes 4 damage and it dies. That's it. Because I think vulnerable and toughened is take +2 damage, take -1 damage. Is that only, is conditions only taking damage from attacks? Um, uh, from attacks. So there's no double effect there, but I still do kill it. It dies, so this goes up by 1, but I don't get any other ability from that, I don't think. Or is it whenever a villain dies, or is it when a villain dies from an attack? That goes up is the question. Power track. Whenever a villain dies. Okay, so this goes up. So that means that I could choose to use that now to do some corruption lowering. And it's going to take a long time before I can lose more than 2. So I'm going to go ahead and eat that up now and lose 2 corruption from both of my people. Immediately after the power track increases, you can choose 2 heroes. Each can choose to either take the top or the bottom. So we're just going to both lower our corruption by 2. Then this can be used to defend when the other one attacks me, potentially. But the other one isn't even going to go yet because first the shaman's going to go. So maybe we can kill it before anything happens. I have something that's you've seen almost all of her cards by now. I think the only one that we haven't seen is I don't know. I feel like we've seen all of them. So yeah. But I think we're just gonna try to kill this thing face out here. Um, that's a line attack. I think she's just gonna do her like little witch's bolt thing again. Yeah, she's gonna do that. She's gonna get 2 corruption. She's going to do 6 damage in range 4, so she doesn't have to move. She's gonna roll her white die and her red die. And that is she gets a corruption. Oh well, she's at 8. But she also gets 3 plus 2 is 5, and that's enough to make that a crit. So, with that being a crit, her base damage is 6, plus 3 from this is 9, plus 2 from critting is 11, plus 2 from it being vulnerable is 13, and that is more than enough to kill this last thing. And then anything adjacent to it, oops, would have also gotten a power from it. So that power is going to go up. I don't know if this goes up at the start of combat or not. It says whenever a villain dies. When you first enter a dungeon, set it to 0. So that stays for the rest of the thing. This villain's dead. That means every villain is dead. So when combat ends, ugh, a bunch of things happen, I think. End of combat. I just want to see what this says here. After battling the enemies, you get this stuff. While there are no enemy likely to take turns as normal, but do not draw cards, you can make an action as usual. So we still do actions until the end of combat for whatever reason. Um, I don't know what the reason is, but I think right now, I think the first thing that happens is we're going to get some. So let's pull out our equipment deck here. That's level 1. It's still level 1. That's level 2. And I think there's a lot. What? So I have yet to shuffle any of these, so we're just gonna like take 3 random cards out of here and see what we end up getting. These are probably going to be somewhat in numerical order and somewhat alphabetical and stuff, but we just took a bunch of things. And so we have gotten the following: the Apprentice's Mantle, which is part of set 2, whatever that means. That would give -2 agility and +1 spirit and a. This is another blue defense die thing, which I find really confusing because this die does not look like a defense die. Why is it like that? That's going to be a very big question to ask. So that would we're just going to leave it there for now. Oh, there should be a set involved, I guess. Let's see if we can find Apprentice's set. So if you have 1 card from this set, you start the first round of all combat with an aura as an extra action card on your hand. You can increase the size of your area of effect attacks by 1. If you have 2 of them, if you have 3 of them, you get +2 damage. And if you get 4 of them, your area of effect attacks may ignore elements. So that is part of this. Then the second thing we got is a Bright Stone Staff. That will give you an additional 1 damage, an additional 1 spirit. Lets you roll 2 white dice and 1 blue die. And we have a Ring of Healthy Body that lets you discard X number of cards to heal twice that amount and gives you +5 health. We're going to go ahead and equip that on our Paladin for sure. And he gets 5 health because he got that. I think we're going to go ahead and give this new staff to the caster. So that changes her dice pool to have 1 blue die, 2 white dice, and 1 more attack. So this goes up to 3. And 1 more spirit. Or yes, 1 more spirit. So that goes up to 2. Doesn't really change anything. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll give her this apprentice's mantle, um, which lowers her defense, which is fine. I guess you can equip it and it just is at 0 because there's no -1. And then she gets +3 mind, which brings her mind to 4. Oh, she can now flip 2 of her instant cards. But I think we have to wait till the next sanctuary to do that. Um, Based on this, flip top half into a thing, into a more powerful version. No, you can change it. So I think she can flip it. I think she can flip a bottom half pretty much immediately because I think she can flip a bottom half pretty much immediately because she has uh, more. What's the word I'm looking for? Because her ability went up, but I'm not sure. So that's one question. What these blue dice do on the bottom is another question. Yeah. Let's. Oh, we liked this. That'll give him your soul. I don't really care about that. What am I trying to swap? And I need to actually give a heal to do that. Oh, I liked this. This did more damage. This will. I mean, hold up. Trying to sort this out. Trying to figure out what I want. Right. Remove from group 2. 3 cards. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna just. No, that's not the one. I don't know what to do. Yeah, we're gonna do this and let somebody get. Nope, that's just extra soul. I changed your mind again. That's why I said no to that before. -1. That just reduces that cost. There's a lot of decision space in here, assuming that I do upgrade this higher. Yeah, that's. We'll use this one. Okay, that just increases all heals too. All right. So that is us getting all that equipment. And then we are going to take some more turns, but we don't draw cards for them. So everything's going to end up in our discard pile. Combat ended, so we lost that. Combat ended, so we lost these, if I'm correct. I'm going to double check that again. Conditions, end of combat. Combat ends, yes. So everything that we had goes away. We could have used this to heal. So we'll say we use that to heal half of 40. So we're gonna have her there. All right. And our initiative's back here. So she's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's gonna go 1. He's gonna open the door, which is gonna lead us to our next room, which I am going to take a pause, make dinner, and do a second video for the second room. So the big questions are, what if you have blue dice on armor, should you be using that to attack or defend? And if you're using it to defend, what the heck does it do? And the second question is, if your spirit goes up during before you reach a resting place, do you immediately flip that extra card that you would have been able to flip from your mind or spirit going up? And the final one was, if you can use something that has a duration about an enemy starting its turn just before the enemy's turn starts so that it still takes effect. And I'm going to put those in the Discord chat before we do room 2. For now, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and whatever you do, keep those health bars full. Thank you and have a great day.